Wheels up, as they say. So, and Angela, I know you gave me very specific instructions, and Lorraine did too, about who's starting off. So who's starting off?
You are.
Oh, okay. So, well, good to be with everybody. And before we kind of get into today's content, I've had the good fortune of being in some sales meetings. I have had one yesterday. I got one today with Peterborough at 11. And I just want to continue to pass along congratulations to everybody for doing such, great and amazing work. These are really challenging times. There's lots of change. We were talking about it yesterday, and like when all the stay-at-home orders and all that stuff were lifted, that was only a few months ago. It seems like it was forever ago, but it was only a few months ago. So there's still a lot of things that we're getting used to. And, you guys are just doing amazing work, taking care of the customers and the clients. And, they're so fortunate to have you to, receive them in this process, in their home search process. They're so fortunate to have such a talented group of people. So I just want to congratulate everybody and make sure that if you're not congratulating yourselves or patting yourself on the back, which most of us don't do, I want to make sure that we do that because and we recognize that because it's really great work. And it's agents and managers and support specialists and home office. Everyone's doing just fantastic work. So sticking with the theme of lots of things to get used to and change. So we're going to talk today about, we're going to kind of morph into CRM and Delta Media and some of the resources we have, but we're going to start it off with talking about some news that kind of hit the real estate news wire last week about Zillow. And it's kind of funny. It's very anticlimactic for somebody like me because I've anticipated this now for years. It wasn't very hard. You didn't have to be a soothsayer to figure it out. But that Zillow now has officially entered the brokerage industry. So, and I'm going to kind of, if you bear with me for a minute, I want to give you kind of a little bit of history about how this all developed. So you go back 10, 12 years ago when Zillow kind of first came on the scene, there was a whole flight of websites, homes.com and Zillow and Trulia. I mean, Trulia is still kind of around, but not really. But there was a whole flight of sites, right? And if you guys remember this, remember you used to have the marketing pieces that had all the websites on them. And, now there are not that many. There's really just, from major sites, Realtor.com, Zillow, a few minor sites. But, part of the Zillow guys, they're pretty smart people. They're really kind of brilliant from a business sense. I'm not sure from an emotional intelligence sense, but from a business sense for sure. So, they had a very specific strategy. First was to ingratiate themselves to the brokerage community. And of course, we were one of the ones that embraced them and remember, we had huge contracts with them that, secured leads on your listings and all that. And then what happened is, once they became they kind of used the brokerage community as kind of a good housekeeping seal, if you would, right? Where the brokerage community kind of approved them as a vendor, if you want to look at it that way. And then next, they kind of said to us, well, we're not going to give you brokerages any more contracts to control your listings. We're going to jump over the brokerages and we're going to go directly to the agents. And so if you remember this, right, they had, that's when all of a sudden buying zip codes and all that type of stuff came about. And those have been, for a lot of people who have done it, they've been pretty profitable and prolific relationships. So I'm not knocking that in any way. And if you still have them and they're working for you, you should continue them. But you have to continue them with understanding what's going on, right? And so they ingratiate themselves with the broker, they jump over the broker, go directly to the agent. Then they start to pit the agent against each other. Okay, well, Joan, if you don't buy this zip code, Bob in your office will, that type of stuff, right? We all experience that. And now they're jumping over the agent and they're going direct to the consumer. Now, like everything else, like every other type of change, right, it takes a while. But they've made a public announcement that they're going to get into the brokerage business. So they will, and we don't know exactly what that'll look like. It'll look like at first still them hiring agents as employees, not independent contractors, is from what I understand, to sell some of the property that Zillow themselves own in their iBuyer program. And then that'll morph into actual hiring agents as brokerages, maybe a little bit like what Redfin does. Now, that's not a surprise because they've been angling. I mean, for years they've been angling in that direction. So for us, we just kind of do our own thing. So like with our relationship with Delta Media and our CRM, it's one of the reasons why we've been really talking about CRM now for so long and kind of aggressively with everybody, because the best defense is a good offense, which means if you're always in contact with your sphere, nobody else can touch it. Okay, so that's kind of the message I want to leave you with, that they'll continue to be disruptors. I don't know really what broad impact Zillow coming in as a brokerage will be. The strict employee-based models in real estate have struggled in the United States. Employee-based models are really more European. It's an entirely different structure in Europe. They've really not met with a lot of success. You take a look at Redfin, although they've got a pretty good internet platform, the agent base is pretty inferior. Things like Help You Sell and Assist to Sell and all those, Foxtons, if you remember that, goes back probably 10 years ago. They all kind of met with pretty quick demise. But with the advent of this, they've made this declaration. So this is what's happening. So from a lead flow perspective, right, you can take a look and understand over time that eventually in most markets they'll end up hiring agents, and the lead flow at some level, either in its entirety or somehow parsed, will end up going to their employees first, and then maybe outside agent relationships second. And so it goes to kind of, continue to convolute the environment, except for worlds like ours, where we're very clear about what we're doing. We've got a great partner in Delta. We have all the right products and services in place and the support. It's one of the reasons why we train the support specialists to understand how to use all these programs so they can back you up. So you're spending time on the things that are important. It's critical in this environment, especially where the market's so fast, that you spend your time on the things that matter the most. And to the extent possible, you don't touch stuff to the extent you can. And so technology, and especially in this CRM configuration that we have with Delta and all that really helps you get there. There's going to be a lot going on, right? We're living through this period of time now where there's a redistribution of population to the Northeast, and then along with the redistribution of population, what comes with that is that they draft their wealth up with them. So it's not only redistribution of population, but also wealth. So these are really interesting times. We're completely prepared for it. You've got great support. And I'm going to turn it over to Lorraine now so she can talk a little bit about what's happening next with Delta, and then introduce our guest speaker from Delta. So thank you,
Chris. Angela, do you want to chime in before we?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks. So do you have that graphic? Awesome. So if you are in the Winning in One Facebook group, you have seen this graphic. And if you're not in the Winning in One Facebook group, would love to have you join us, right? So go on Facebook, Winning in One. We will approve you to join the group. It's quick and easy. So I thought this was the coolest thing. I saw it the other day with Realty Alliance, and these are numbers from NAR. And they're telling you basically reach out and touch your sphere, right? Because, we're looking at this and their sphere of influence, that's where these came from. And look at those numbers climbing up, right? 66% in 2011, up to 71% in 2019. And I think and we do belong to Realty Alliance as well, just in case you all are wondering about that. So that's kind of a cool thing that we're part of this group that is looking at the numbers, looking at the industry, and it's owned by realtors, right? So it's owned by us And I think that's a really cool thing, that it's something unlike Zillow, unlike some other things that aren't realtor owned. This is agency specific owned. So I think that's a cool thing to tell you about Realty Alliance. So, but also now go down to the bottom of this. And I think these numbers are really eye-opening. So people that found, as technology is expanding, people that have found their agent from an internet website, 4, 5, 4, and 3% respectively. Check that out. So it really shows you the power that you have in your CRM. So I'm super excited that Delta's here with us today. Also want to tell you of one upcoming class that we have with Winning in One. It's going to be a live class that Casey Levesque is going to do for us. It's going to be a noontime lunch and learn, so bring your lunch in, and we're going to do that via Zoom. We'll send out a link for you. Make sure you all get it, and it's going to involve all the things that are going on in Win in One this month. And Casey can help answer some questions for you as far as that CRM. If you're having trouble uploading your docs, she can show you where to go to get that, as well as some of the fun stuff. She's a master at some of that networking and connection challenge things. So happy that you're with us this morning. I'm going to get you right over to Lorraine so we can get into some great information from our friends from Delta.
Great, thanks, Angela. Yeah, just to reiterate everything that has been said, you know, kind of the purpose behind the CRM is to help you manage those relationships. It does so many things we're going to talk about in depth, and we definitely have all kinds of training on this if you need more info, but your support teams are so well versed. They're the ones that really will help get a lot of this. A lot of it's automated, so you are staying in touch with your sphere without having to even touch anything manually. And then it will put reminders on your calendar when it is time for you to reach out yourself. So it's not all just automation and things like that. It's really a relationship management program. So I'm excited to bring in Franklin Stoffer from Delta Media Group. He is their Senior Key Accounts Manager and Sales Manager, which is a fancy way of saying he is the point of contact for large brokerages like us. And really, we're a partner. You know, they are a technology partner, and they reach out to us all the time asking for feedback and advice. We have questions, we have suggestions, and it really is a true partnership. And the product that we purchased almost 3 years ago, I think, has evolved incredibly since when we first signed on. It was awesome then, it's even better now. So anyway, I will invite Franklin to join us, and he has insight about what he is seeing, what Delta is seeing technology-wise throughout the country. Franklin?
Absolutely. Thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate the introduction. I have prepared a presentation for us to go through today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So like Lorraine said, I'm the Senior Accounts Consultant at Delta Media Group, and it's awesome to hear you guys are part of the Realty Alliance. That is a really, really powerful network. And we have multiple other brokerages that are clients of ours in the Alliance as well. And they really help drive the direction that Delta takes with our technology and other offerings. So what I'd like to do for you guys today is kind of bring you up to speed with tools that are available to you that help you compete and win against disruptors and other digital agencies that are trying to get into the real estate game. So overall, when I go through this presentation today, there are 5 key words that I want you to remember. And I'm going to present data, and I'm going to present information and technology you guys already have. And this will be a very high level kind of crash course through things that are available to you that you can work with your teams to get a better idea on how to utilize these in your business. So first is be powerful. So when you're competing against digital agencies that are coming in, they have all of this massive money and venture capitalist funds behind them, but they're trying to break into a market that they really weren't born out of. Having some level of independence, having some level of expertise in your particular market is powerful. And when you think about power in real estate, one of the first things that comes to mind is brand. So be powerful with your company brand, your brokerage brand, and that can be how you're perceived online, because that's part of the equation is online leads, but it's not the biggest piece, and it's not what we're going to spend most of our time talking about today. But it is a small component of your business, but it's one that you should be proud of, is how you're represented online. Because although most relationships do not start online, NAR's data over the last 2 years has shown that millennial buyers especially are looking up the name of their agent. They're Googling your names. So how you're represented online is going to be really critical for those new buyers that are way more internet savvy. So being represented online with a powerful brand is important, as well as your own agent websites. You have tools and flexibility and capabilities inside of your system today to represent yourself online and look really, really strong. These agent websites are not big lead generators. They don't need to be. What they are is a representation of you in your marketplace. So these most times people talk about internet websites, or especially agent websites, they think, oh, those aren't generating leads, they're not important. Well, that's okay. If your agent site's not generating you 100 leads every month, what is important is that your clients are being serviced by your website. You feel happy, you want to send somebody to your website, look at all this great information I have about our market. I've got content that's going to help you through the buying and selling process. It is a client servicing website, and you want to feel powerful when you're sending somebody to look at your site that it looks like it's from 2020 and not from 2004. Additionally, there's power in ranking in the search engines. So one of the things that Delta does, and Masiello through that connection, is be represented online in the search engines. So one thing that I always encourage people to do is type site : in Google and then put a website domain. And it will tell you how many page results there are in Google's live index. This is really important because I can tell you most of the competitors in your marketplace aren't having over 100,000 records in Google's live index. That's over 125,000 different ways that your links are appearing in the Google search engine to get traffic back to your website. So there is power in being represented through the search engines. And also, specifically Masiello Group, you guys are crushing it. Your traffic is always up. Your organic traffic from the search engines is up. You are well represented online in your brand. And you guys are spending a whole heck of a lot less for organic lead generation, that is qualified traffic, than people typically coming through and paying for Zillow leads. You're acquiring qualified business for a much, much lower cost than any of the competitors you have in your marketplace. And there's power in that. Next is be efficient. So how are you going to be efficient with your time so you spend less time working with technology and letting it help do things for you, and you spend more time actually having and building relationships that matter? So we're going to talk about why you should care about these CRM tools that you have and how the DeltaNet can help you be more efficient. But I want to start by saying, why should you care about being more efficient? Why should you care about any of the things that I'm going to be talking about today? Take a look at some of this data that was put out by NAR this year, looking at 2019 data. Repeat business from past customers and clients, broken down on this chart. It's showing you the experience of a realtor and the percentage of repeat business that's coming in their annual business. So realtors that have over 16 years of experience, more than 39% of their business is coming from past clients they've already worked with. So the CRM tools that we've got in DeltaNet are designed to help you keep those relationships going over long periods of time without you needing to actually pick up a phone and call somebody every other week. There are other tools and ways that you can automate those components of your business, and we'll talk about those. But also, more importantly, from that same research study, business through referrals. So you've got repeat business from customers you've worked with. That's 39% of your business if you've been doing this for over 16 years. But then if you look at the referrals on top of that, for realtors that have been doing this over 16 years, there's another 29% of their business is coming from referrals. So again, you want to keep that connection you have with clients that you've already worked with, because realtors that have been doing this for a long time, that's over 2/3 of their business every year is coming from their sphere directly. So you want to stay in touch with them. And how you can do that efficiently is using tools and other automation that is in place from the technology. You don't have to make this every day. You've got to be using all this different tech, because it's sophisticated enough today that you can set up these automations and let them do the business for you. So here are just some of the high-level tools that are available in the DeltaNet platform. You've got instant notifications when a lead is assigned to you, so you don't have to be checking your leads every day, because you should get a text message when an opportunity comes in for you. We have automations for Facebook and LinkedIn, so you don't have to sit down in front of your computer and write a Facebook post every day because all the data says you should be on social. You can set up automation, so you get a new listing, a price reduction, somebody leaves you a review, or just general market updates. You can have automated content running to your Facebook and LinkedIn pages using content that's already in your CRM today. So you can turn on those automations exactly how you want. It takes less than a minute to sign in with Facebook through the DeltaNet and turn on those automated posts. We're also automatically pulling in testimonials for you from multiple places online. So your clients can be leaving you reviews that'll be represented on your website, and you can pull in reviews from Facebook, from Zillow, Real Satisfied, Testimonial Tree. So you can be represented on one place on your website where all those reviews that are being left for you are being pulled in. The system can also build automated task lists for you. So there is a level of AI built into the system where, based off of how your clients are interacting with your emails, with your website, the system will automatically build you a to-do list every day where you can see, oh, hey, one of my clients came to my website and looked at 2 listings yesterday. Well, the system automatically created a task for you. Now you can see these are the 2 listings they looked at yesterday. You should give them a call to ask them about the properties they looked at. You can have a task automatically created. So if you send out an email blast to 300 of your potential buyers and 50 of them click through your email to your website, it'll automatically build a to-do list for you to follow up on all those people that clicked through your email. So the system can help build your daily to-do list if you want to use it that way. There's also automated newsletters where the team at Delta has created over 500 articles of content, and we add new content to that every single week. That's for buyers, for sellers, for homeowners. Your entire sphere can be receiving this newsletter that is branded for you with content that is only going to be relevant to their interests. So this newsletter called My Customer for Life, I could enroll my entire database to get this newsletter, and based on how they interact with the emails, they will get different content in the future. So I say, you know what? All 1,000 of my contacts in my sphere start getting the newsletter. Day 1, there's an email with a buyer article, a seller article, and a homeownership article. If I click on that buyer article day 1, Delta tracked that behavior. So next week, your client is going to get 2 buyer articles, a seller, and a homeownership article. I click on that buyer article a second week in a row. I'm now assigned the label of potential buyer, and the newsletter will only have buyer content because that's what I care about. So your clients are getting relevant information that they actually care about, and you didn't have to do anything but just click the button to turn on the emails to run. And it's always going to be relevant to them, and there's always going to be new timely content. Additionally, we have synchronizations in place for Office 365, Outlook and Exchange, and Google, which enables real-time contact syncs for your calendar, your contacts, and your email. That's efficient. When you don't have to enter a contact in your phone and in your CRM, you just enter it in one place and it automatically is in your CRM and in your phone. Or I create a to-do where I want to have a follow-up call with the seller every week, and then that calendar notifications in my CRM and on my phone. It's a synchronization that happens where you don't have to be doing duplicate data entry anywhere. It's really, really powerful and efficient. We have out-of-the-box email campaigns for buyers, sellers, homeownership that are action plans, that there's over 15 available today, and we're adding 3 new action plans every month. So the content inside of your DeltaNet CRM is always evolving. New website designs, new e-card designs, new action plans, new newsletter content. There's always something new in there for you. So you don't have to be writing all that content because we already know how busy you are. Additionally, we have an open house connector app to streamline the process of in-person open houses. Once people are more comfortable with doing those, they'll start picking up again. And that just helps you streamline and automate the process of running an open house. And we also have customer tracking and AI-driven lead scoring. So all the contacts you do have in your DeltaNet, you can at any time look at that customer record and see a full and complete history of everything they've ever done in your system. When did they log on? How long did they spend on your website in a particular session? What listings did they look at that night? What emails were they interacting with? You can go to any of the clients in your database and see a full and complete timeline of all of their activity inside of the DeltaNet, and we assign a lead score to them so you can easily search and filter your list and create segmented, targeted lists based off of how people are interacting with your CRM. So be efficient with your time. Let the technology do a lot of that work for you. Additionally, be creative. There are a lot of tools in your marketing that allow you to differentiate yourself and be really creative with how you are representing the listings that you guys have or the buyers you're working with. So there is a tool in the DeltaNet called Creative Studio or the Marketing Studio where you can go in and use all sorts of different e-cards, print flyers, and other designs that are available to you. And you can automate the process and the creation of these flyers and e-cards. So inside of the DeltaNet, there are hundreds of pre-built templates. There is the ability to create and modify those templates to really make them feel unique to yourself. You can automatically build those flyers and e-cards. So if I don't want to have to go into the DeltaNet and build a new listing flyer every time I get a new listing, I can use our automation wizard and say, you know what, this new listing design is my favorite one. Every time I get a new listing, build me a new listing flyer using my favorite preset design. So I can have my entire system set up so that when I enter a listing at the MLS, it automatically makes a post on Facebook. It automatically sends a new listing alert to all of my clients with saved searches. It automatically builds my favorite e-card design and emails that out. You can automate all of this stuff so that you don't have to change your daily workflow. You just set up the automations one time to stay in contact with your clients in your sphere. Additionally, we have an ExpressDocs integration coming soon and other printers coming soon thereafter to actually handle the print component of these designs, to take them beyond the realm of just normal print flyers that you can do in your office or general e-cards you're going to email out. We're going to be offering more print capabilities in the near future in early 2021. Inside of the Creative Studio, you can build dedicated e-cards, single-page flyers, multi-page brochures, printable postcards, social media templates, and more. It is a very, very powerful tool that allows you and your marketing team to be creative inside of the DeltaNet to help your brand stand out even more. And you want to be reliable. So this is really, really critical, and it's one of the major things that you have as an edge up over all of those other digital agencies coming in, is you guys have been doing this for years. You have the experience, you have the ability to be reliable. You've got this great sphere, you've got clients that have worked with you before, so you want to be that reliable expert that's going to stay in touch with them long term. And again, there are tools in your CRM that can help you seem and be reliable to your clients without needing to take a ton of time to maintain that sphere. So you can do things like set up safe searches for your clients. You know that they're already interested in looking for a property, or they just are interested in what's going on in their particular market. Using the DeltaNet, you can set up safe searches for your clients with all of the same tools and filters that you could do if you were setting it up at the MLS, because those same data points and variables are pulled in. So you can set up a really detailed, qualified safe search. And then on top of that, you have all that history tracking in place that I mentioned on the last slide in the DeltaNet to see what your clients are interacting with. You can also set up seller reports. This isn't all buyer focused. There's a ton of tools in there to help you with sellers. So you can set up a seller report that can run to your clients on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. That's going to automatically build a really nice detailed report on what's going on with their property. What's the interest online? What's the interest in the portal sites? How many times is the detail page views happening for their listing? What showings have happened? What marketing are you doing for their property? This is all going to be built automatically, sent to your seller, but you can still preview and modify any of that data ahead of time if you wanted to change it before your seller sees it. But the point is, you can automate it, and it's really, really nice to give to your sellers. And then once you move somebody into a new market, you went through the process, you did a safe search, somebody bought a home, you helped sell a listing, somebody moves into a house. Now they're going to be in your sphere, but you know they just had a transaction. There's going to be a pretty long lag time before you have another opportunity to engage with them. Anywhere between 3, 5, 7 years, there's going to be a delay, and you're going to need to be reliable. You're going to need to be consistent and stay kind of in the back of their head. This is the agent that helped me complete my last transaction, but you want to be able to give them data that they care about and not just bombard them with emails every Christmas, every New Year's, just general information. You can be giving people that you just moved into a new market really great information with our Market Watch report system. So you can set up a Market Watch report that can run to a client on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, where every quarter you could be sending them a nice branded email showing them all of the activity happening in the market where they now live. What's the average asking price? How long are listings staying on the market? What's the total number of homes for sale? With great call to actions to drive them back to your website. So this is content that's going to be relevant for them, but it's a lot more of a soft touch than doing a traditional action plan with somebody that you just moved into a house a year ago. And that kind of leads me to be different. That's the biggest one, be different. So by being powerful with your brand, being efficient with your time, being creative with your marketing, being reliable for your clients, you can be different by becoming the #1 agent in the market that you service. And this is something that's not a new idea for you guys. We had Chris on the cover of our September issue of Real Estate Marketing and Technology. And if you look at what the cover story was about, it's leveraging technology to maintain ongoing client relationships. It's really, really critical. And I'll mention that being different is something that Delta does as well. We are a digital marketing agency and we're a technology company that does a print magazine. There are all sorts of ways you can be creative with your brand and with your tools to help you be different in your marketplace and become the #1 agent for the unique market that you service. So that kind of leads me to the end. If there's any questions, Lorraine, that I could answer, or anything else you'd like me to cover in more detail, that's what I got.
I did see one question come in about Instagram automation.
We would love to do Instagram automation. It's absolutely on our radar. So we are exploring opportunities with Instagram integrations for our AdWizard tools for doing marketing, as well as automated posts through Instagram. Right now, the main hurdle is Instagram requires a certain spend from a company before we get access to those APIs to offer automated post Instagram. They want a company to be spending at least $100,000 a year on ads before they give you access to that. So we're working our way up to being able to offer Instagram. We think we'll have it soon, but that's really the only hurdle. It's not a tech issue. It's just their partner program.
A question that we get a lot is, do we have a mobile app?
Mm-hmm. So we offer today progressive web apps through the DeltaNet. So if you go to your website on Google Chrome, or if you're using any Android device and you go to masiello.com, you'll see a pop-up prompt asking if you'd like to install this app on your device. Because it's a Google technology, that won't work on iOS, but it will enable push notifications, put your website logo on the homepage of somebody's phone. So it works similar to an app without taking up data on their device. And I will say Delta is exploring opportunities in 2021 to offer traditional web apps, as well as DeltaNet applications. So currently everything is web-based, but we are looking to be able to offer more traditional app store type apps in 2021.
But our website and all of our agent websites are mobile responsive. So
Yes.
It's almost like no app needed kind of.
Correct. It's just going to take up storage on somebody's phone, and you have to tell them to go to the app store, look up your name. So this is a streamlined process with the progressive web apps and the mobile responsive designs.
Okay, all of that is wonderful. I think everything else we were able to answer in the chat as it came up. Thank you very much for this. Super fantastic. You know, Jocelyn brought up a great point. You know, we offer all of this at no extra cost to our agents. So, you know, this is a tremendous amount of technology that you'd almost be priced out to try and do on your own. And we do all the research for you. You know, partnering with Delta, we kind of, we filter out the things that we filter in the things that we think are most important. And I know technology can make everybody's head spin. So we are here to help. Your business support teams are there to help. We have step-by-step guides that we've put in place. And so don't be intimidated or scared if you're not a native to the technology realm. We're here to help. And, you know, like what Franklin was saying, so much of this is automated that it's kind of like a set it and forget it. So we could spend a half an hour setting up all your settings, and then the system just goes to work for you. So thank you again, Franklin, for joining us today. If anyone has any questions, please reach out to us in marketing. And Chris, if you wanted to close out with anything.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much, Franklin. Appreciate you being here and all the support that Delta gives everybody. And I just want to underscore Lorraine's comment. So yeah, it is a lot of technology, but it's automated. And you know, you have your preferences in there, and your support specialists know how to do all this. So you know, you're not really set adrift to kind of sort it out yourselves, right? So you've got plenty of support in figuring out how to leverage this. So, you know, don't feel all that weight of having to be an expert. You don't have to be an expert. You're an expert at real estate sales. You don't have to be a technology expert. Okay, somebody else is going to do that for you. And just one last comment about, you know, whether it's Zillow or whoever it's going to be, because there'll be other people in the future too, by the way. I don't know who they are yet, but bound to be some. You know, you take an organization like Zillow, and right now they're just the hot topic, right? You know, they're not a real estate company. They're a technology company that is the purveyor of real estate information, but they're not a real estate company. They're a technology company. You are a real estate company. You are local, and you have a database of people who know and trust and like you, and there's nothing more powerful than that. And so this is the age now where that's going to really come to the forefront, and we need to leverage that. You've got all the tools and resources to do that. So Have an amazing week. It was really good to be with everybody. And if you've got questions, you know where to get us. We're here to help. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.